Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host. That's the first time I've spoken today. I'm your host, Rob. Feeling a bit better than I was yesterday. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today, Podcast Bros. Just to let you know, we're going to do our second ever STL review show. So we're looking at upcoming files available from Patreons that are coming out new in April, and some from March as well. And that's what we're going to be doing. So if you're listening to the podcast, you might want to jump over and watch this back on YouTube or something. And obviously hit subscribe and all that other jazz and leave some comments. Because it's a super fun show. Only second time we've done it. But I'm here for it. And it's really, really fun. And we've got a few more than we had last time. Dayton's away today, so it's just me. But I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I also want to say hello to everyone in the chat before we get on. A big AOSP, yeah, 3D printing crew, let's go. Dreadwoods, agreed. Herminister Yo-Yo. Hey Faces and Bases. Marcus Rock, Plymouth Troll Slayers, yes. Let's go, Herministers, fine. Owen Jackson, let's go. Owen Jackson, who did really well yesterday at that event. Again, apologies, I wasn't able to cover the event yesterday, but I felt awful. But me and the TOs were speaking last night, and we are going to be covering the top 8, which Owen Jackson is inside. Yeah, so let's go. Yeah, smash that like button. We'll also be doing a show later today, so keep your eyes peeled for it. I don't know how to describe it. The Honest Wargamer Intercontinental Ballistic co-host battle. We're letting the Twitch chat later on. Not today, later, but not in this show. We'll be letting you guys pick lists for our inter-host TTS tournament, but more on that later. These shows make me want for a service which 3D prints minis for you. Don't have space for 3D print. And Marcus Rock, there are normally people doing it. I know people like Chris in the chat is doing it. Also people like me probably will be doing it in the future. I think that there's some real legs for it. Let's just jump in, shall we? Mamdare, I am feeling a bit better. Thank you very much for asking. I just needed a break yesterday. Right, okay. Let's just jump into it because this is super fun. So, hold on, let me just get this up. Woohoo, that's what she said. Right, so we're going to go to our boys. These guys have got, I think, the most Patrons at the moment over on Patreon for like STL designers. And this is Titanforge. So this is their April release that we're looking at now. And it's gone along this Yokai theme. So it's kind of got, I think, some Japanese/Chinese influence, and it's really beautiful. There's some really good stuff. There's an amazing, I just want to point this out later on for you guys watching, an amazing set of Idoneth Deepkin models, proxies that are good. So yeah, love a good bit of Titanforge. So these are the Titanforge ones. So I want to see what you guys made ill by excessive salt consumption. I don't know. I didn't have any issues with the Lumineth. Like, if you guys listen to my show, very different. That would be a Wicked Phoenix. Agreed. It looks really beautiful. Don't forget, you're also always able to mirror models as well. So you've got one that's looking that way. When you print on a printer, you can make it so that everything's flipped. So if you did want to kind of move them around. So let's flip it around. I'm a really big fan of that. These may take a while. Not 100% sold on this model. I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit wary about this, but it looks cool. So I don't have much to say about this particular model. I think it's fine. I'm going to go for it's fine. Yeah, also, don't forget, normally stuff prints in parts. So Herminister makes a good point. Like, you know, you could potentially print out those wings if you really liked them and stick them on a different model, which I think is good. Could also be a cockatrice, maybe. It could be a sloppy bar pipe. But now this is the guy. This has got all of my fancy. It's an octopus shield, I think, basically, on some big fat demon spirit. And he's just, I'm all about it. This is 11 out. Yeah, this guy fucks super hard. Yeah, he's awesome. Really love this guy. I think I'm going to print him out just for myself as a little like project because I just think he's phenomenal. No, I don't think he could play as anything. You could potentially use him as ogres, maybe as man-eater. Not sure. The human. This is a bit chibly, crazy. This one's really good. Big fan of this. This is super fucking weird. So it's a lady. She's got an umbrella with a demon face. She's got a casket of souls. This could be a nice kind of weird human that you stuck inside an OCR Bone Reaper's army. Yeah. Like you could do some like funky head like swap or something like that. Like I don't love that the guy has a belt of heads. Does he? Oh, hold on. I don't want to ruin this for you guys. Hold on. He does have a belt of heads. That's great. That's a good shout for you guys, from you guys. All right, let's move on. What's the main appendage for fucking Stuntwood? Hey, Mr. Mephisto, hello. That's what I was talking about. This guy's great. You could use him as a little attendant in a Zinch army. I think that would be fun. I think this would be cool. The Rob Henchman. What, this guy? Hey, I like this guy. He's delivering some tofu. I don't know. You could use him as a familiar. He's just a sweet ass model. Watching the dark. Right, next up. This range gets really wild and really fun really quick. Really into whatever the hell this is. I was thinking this could potentially be, because there's that kind of like, and Mephisto's in the chat, so this is right up his street. Because the OC arcs have that kind of like that Eastern vibe very much. I thought this could be a very good alternate Morghast, like an Archive, sorry, an Archive. So you could do some funky. It's kind of got that carrion vibe that you get to carry with it, like, and it really fits into kind of like the Stalkers theme as well, which I thought would be really cool. I mean, alternately, you could use it in a sweet ass Cities of Sigmar model as basically anything. But yeah, like that would be a really good like Archive, I think. You could potentially do, because there's a couple of this guy. There's another one. There's another one you could stick into it. Yeah, that checks out. Oh, are you excited about that? Give me that looming unnatural Panzer Labyrinth themed army. Yeah. Zangor Shaman. Zangor Shaman's a good call. What, a more baller Zangor Shaman? That is a great shout. Yeah, great shout. That's really nice. I love this one. I think this one's particularly boss, personally. But super sweet. And then you've got this guy, which is really cool. Again, he's got that little fox model on the bottom, which I just think is really, really nice. Not really sure about the weapon. The tip doesn't look particularly dangerous, but I think that's quite cool. Could be a fun alternate wind mage, and would fit quite nicely, I think, potentially into a Lumineth Realm Lord's army. Be a fun little, Lore Seeker there. That's a good one. Yeah, I think that would work really nice and could work really nicely. So again, lovely range. Oftentimes, it depends who's doing them. Oftentimes, Titanforge do a really, really good job of making it so you can pretty much print an army out. So they'll give you different weapon options and other stuff. I think this month's release, they've just gone for a bunch of characters, which I'm not upset about at all. He does even have the Bat Banner. He does have the Bat Banner. I think the Bat Banner, though, has... I'm not sure if the little flower on the back, I think that more than likely will be stuck on. But before you cure it, you could chip that off, potentially. And he's got a little fox. So he's like a perfect Huracan model, basically. You could use him as an elven bringy dinghy sculpt. Ooh, really nice idea. That's really nice, yes. Yeah, or you could put him... Yes, because it's a paddle. Hams fans and Owen on the same idea. Stick him on top of a bringy dinghy as opposed to... Great shout. You guys are great. I wrote my MA dissertation on Yokai. Colonel Cabbage, could you give us an elevator pitch for what the hell Yokai means, please? That would be appreciated. This guy, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you could use him as anything, but he's just a fucking boss-ass bitch. The mustache? I'm into this. Yeah, replace Teclis with this guy. Yes! Chunky Teclis! Yeah, he does fuck, Mr. Master, he does. Fleetmaster, yeah, that works. He's awesome. He's sweet. And he's got the little fan. You could use him as a wind mage again that refuses to fly. So stubborn. He looks like he's badass at ping pong. He does. Right, so there's some really great models. This is one of my... I love doing this show every month, so thanks everyone for tuning in. This is just a sweet-ass fox. Again, I think the idea that we could do some endless spells in here is super fun. You could potentially print 2 of these out, and they could be your Geminids in your Lumineth Realm Lord's army. 2 little foxes that get whipped about would be really fun. Steve Dooley, yeah, what's going on? Let's go. Yokai are Japanese monsters and spirit gods. They are a representation of human fears about the world may manifest through art and storytelling. Thank you, Colonel Cabbage. You are a treasure. You can't even step to this double mechanics motivation walls and piling was. This is. I'm really into this. This guy's great and would be a super fun project to paint. Again, Fox models at the moment, obviously, very in vogue. Very in vogue. Again, oh fuck yeah, this guy. This guy fucks. Look at him. He looks awesome. Really into this guy. This guy's sweet as. He's got like a. You guys maybe can't see it like super well. Maybe you can, but he's got like a little bandana or like a knotted rope around his head. He would look sweet. Naruto Fox right there. Yeah, he looks really good. So now we're onto some I think it's kind of like a double release, like Colonel Cabbage is saying. Like the fears of people. So we're going to kind of like a more dark fantasy vibe on this release now. So you've got kind of like a loaded down undead wraith, and like she definitely could be like a Khan wraith or something like that. And looks really, Banshee would be really good. Yeah, really, really good. And then here you see some. So I was thinking these guys look a lot. Now these are modular. So as you guys can see, they've got bows and they've got different weapons and shields. So they are 100% are buildable. You'll see in a minute. They normally have a picture of it, so you can build them in different ways. These would make a great swamp army. They obviously remind me of Famir, but they could be really fun plague bearers. I think you could do something really fun with that. Hey Bobbin, what's up? You could do some fun plague bearers with these, or you could go you could upscale them and have some really weird grots. Maybe if you wanted to do like a Troggoth army with like a kind of like a huskier vibe in some ways. Definitely. I really like these. I think that these are really excellent. I'm not sure there's a Games Workshop kind of alternative. Now, obviously, the reason I always compare them for things that they could be used as, little prefix, of course. And I've said this time and time again when I've been talking about 3D printing. I see all of these different Patreons and alternate sculpts as I'm not a good sculptor by any stretch of the imagination, nor a good painter, but they're a really nice way to theme an army that you're really in love with, and do something quite different. You could also, I was also thinking you could go for a really dark, living city vibe. These guys could be like humans, they've almost got that swamp / you could do some Sylvaneth swamp models, and just do something really. They live in rivers and drag on the water and kill you by shoving. Quite Dark Soulsy. Yeah, use them in IDK. Nice. You could do a really dark, decrepit, swampy Inet Deepkin force. That's good. Or you could increase their size by 300%. As Mamdare saying, they could be trolls. These guys would make perfect Lumineth Realm Lord substitutes. Interesting. I wonder how you do that. So then you see them in individuals. And what's quite nice normally, so they'll normally have ball joints in the wrist. So you see where they've put those little bandages. There's normally ball joints. So you can just put different weapons on them. So it'll be the 3 main bodies. So there you go. So they've got 3 head options, the 3 bodies. And then, look at that scimitar. That's nice. So the 3 different shields and then a variety of different weapons. And again, just brilliant. So if you're I want them all to have clubs or fire sticks, just really, really good. Quivers on their back, no quivers on their back. You could have them with a weapon and then have a bow on their back. So you can really mix and match, which is just really nice. That pot hair though. Who are we talking about? Let's go. Oh, hold on. I've fucked this up. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Let's go back. Where is he? Is it this guy? Oh, fuck. Sorry, lads. I love his hair. What are you talking about? I'm all about that. So loads of those, and then you get some random, they do this kind of adventurer set. So you get a little lady. I think her head's a bit too big, to be honest, but the armor's nice. You could definitely do a different head on that. This guy is 11 out of 10. You could use him as a mage. You could use him as a rune father. You could use him as a rune lord. Just looks really, really good. And then this guy, really good. Mr. Mephisto, thank you for resubscribing. Is Blood Bowl the best Games Workshop game? Yes or no? Yes or yes? Maybe yes. As long as Ziggy plays it, it's pretty good for me. Use him as a Rob stand-in. Couple more months of lockdown. I'm going to be that chunky. I'm not going to be that swole in the arms, though. He has got little feet. He's got that prison body, right? He's all big on top, little legs. He's doing no leg workout. He could be an awesome Gur-mage. Really, really could. Yeah. See the future Roblin. I have to grow my hair out. You also get terrain with this set. So that's all the terrain piece you can get. Looks really nice. I might print some out at some point. All of this is really lovely. Sometimes it's a bit of a problem because it's not like a complete set. We are looking at a terrain designer today, Sacrasmunda, and so it's fairly limited. But there are quite a lot of like Japanese kind of Eastern vibe terrain pieces out there already, so you can mix and match quite nicely. So yeah, it does look really sweet, but you wouldn't do a board in it, and I'll talk about that more later. And you also get a bunch of bases. Be you a square all-round base player, so it's super good. So there we go. That is Titanforge. Big shout out to Titanforge boys. If you guys want to, I don't know if you guys appreciate that, but yeah, they do a great work. Right, next up we're going to go to Artisan Guild. Here we go. So this is their this is their stuff that they're doing now. Thanks, Danny Danny Paints. What up? Danny Paints, you'd love this show. You should stick around, man. There's so many models here. Right. So these are the models for their April release that we're looking at, and they'll go through this kind of group here. So they've got these very Stormcast. Let me just hide all this stuff at the bottom. The very Stormcast-esque models, I would say. You could definitely play them as such. There's some great Free Guild Warriors in here as well. Look at that. Look at these shields. This, again, if you wanted to, I feel like you could do a really kind of like grim, I'll say grim a lot of the minute because I'm obviously obsessed with streaking crime. But just really nice. Flails, big hammers. You could go. They're quite Warcrafty. Artisan Guild have got like a very Warcrafty vibe to their general look. Yeah, Bretonian's also a good one. How do I find these companies? So the way to find these companies best is you go onto Patreon, subscribe to Wargamer, and then after you've done that, you go into the search bar and you just type miniatures. You just type miniatures, and the way it works is there's also a good website called My Mini Factory. But the problem with My Mini Factory, it doesn't do, I would say, a particularly good job of like putting out. It's just got random stuff. Like there's probably could be like a quicker and easier search function, but they're always trying to like promote new designers as well. So I think that's really good. If you go this way, the best way is to type in the search bar miniatures, and then it'll start bringing up people. And then normally there's just a quick description in the Patreon that says like, is designing 3D miniatures. It's actually quite a nice way of finding people who are just doing other stuff. There was someone who's doing paper cutout design work. Someone's doing a comic. There's a bunch of like really like cool things. That's an easy way of finding these companies, if that helps. And I've subscribed to all of these because financially it makes the most sense. Because you unlock them for a month. You pay for a month and you unlock all of those designs. So all those designs that we saw previously, they're all now going to be mine for like £7. Like, you got to still get a printer and stuff, but anyway, the bargain is that set. These are obviously phenomenal Stormcast, right? Like phenomenal Stormcast, like Liberators. I think the biggest problem is, and we'll talk about this as time goes on, or as you can see from the last set of models. They're all really good models you could use in an army, but you can't build an army from. Artisan Guild do a really, really good job of making enough minis and enough options that you could build an army from it. But with something like Stormcast, which I think you could design these as Stormcast potentially, they've got so many options that they've got these amazing guys, but they don't have these amazing guys that are also on a battle cat and are on a dragon, etc. So, there we go. But these look amazing. Does anyone rating these, or does no one like the Warcraft vibe? I guess that's the real question. Oh, that's gone a bit dodge. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So they've got some cavalry as well. So it's basically the same guys, just on cavalry. Oh, no. Sorry about that. Don't know what I did. So they look quite nice. Again, what is happening there? Sorry, everyone. Okay, and then you've got some lady wizards. Pretty nice. Again, some lady Stormcast sculpts, potentially. Again, you could just use them in the Cities of Sigmar army. They look quite nice. And then you've got this guy. This lady, sorry. So she's on top of this, like, absolutely phenomenal beast here. They look really good. You could also do them, I guess, as a Warriors of Chaos army. Could be, I mean, that's great. Look at that. What is that armor on the center? Oh, yes. Yes! Chaos Knights. That's what I was thinking, Hams fan. This is potentially like a Chaos army, right? Feral Manticore. Feral Manticore or a Chimera. Yeah, Feral Manticore, or you could just do it as... then you've got a wizard on top of a Manticore as well, which sees some play sometimes. Again, really nice. Big World of Warcraft vibes, obviously. They're into this. I do wonder sometimes how much... obviously, Games Workshop being like the big company in all miniatures design. I wonder how much that informs other miniature designers. I wonder if these guys are looking at Games Workshop stuff and like, oh, Joe, we'll just stick loads of dumb stuff all over them, like candles and a flag, which feels like a recipe for disaster, together on top of something. See that, Mum, Dad? Good luck at work. Okay. But really, really cool, this guy. Really cool again. There we go. Oh! So Artisan Guild, not shy about putting some thick ladies in there as well. Oh, wow, I know. Woof, is all I'm going to say. Strong, bold. Jesus. So a lot there. Right, let's go back. Let's just try to ignore that, shall we? Oof. There's some these are all the options that you can get for the arms and the weapons, and I think, as you can see here, the shields and the big double hammers, the small hammers, the big single hammers, so that like you can build very different models, right? And I think really good. And that's the whole range. So that's everything that you get from a month from Artisan Guild. So that's the April release. Their last release was all the Skeleton Warriors, if you guys watched the last show. So it was all Skeleton Warriors, and kind of similar, really. Like, this is kind of the human equivalent, I guess. I really like this range. I think it's really awesome. I think you could build, like, a very cool army. Again, I sometimes often think, like, Free Guild... or like Cities of Sigmar, you can build a lot in Cities of Sigmar. Why it's such a cool kind of right. Okay, let's go for gods, shall we? This is going to be. Let's get rid of this. So this is Raging Heroes next. Yeah, Raging Heroes. So they have got. This is for Owen because I know he loved the Greek god anime. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, the gods and heroes of Olympus. So, as you can see, there's a Minotaur. I think they're going to do some slows down at some point. Okay, all right, stop advertising to us. No, I don't think that I think that they've, like, digitally painted these. They're not actually painted. Look at that Minotaur, man. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Vesto, thanks for gifting a gift subscriptions in the chat to Droppo. Appreciate you. Hey, Big Goldfish. Meet the leader. Okay, look at this guy. Sweet as. Now, I don't think you could use any of this in Age of Sigmar. Maybe. But they're all just basically sweet ass models you could print. And she's not quite as thick as our last priestess. I think these guys would make really good for one or two sculptures to use as unit champions and heroes. Yeah, again, like, it really depends on what the artists are trying to achieve. I often times think Raging Heroes really aren't trying to achieve something you can print as an army, which I think Titanforge and I think Artisan Guild do, and I think that's actually kind of a positive for us as, like, miniature wargamers as opposed to, like, just miniature collectors and painters. But miniatures, us terrain statues is a great suggestion there. So obviously you could paint them up as statues, but they look, I'm hoping there's a still image of some of them. Look at that. I mean, you could do some insane Black Chariot if you wanted to. That's wild. That's super wild. All these painted statues for terrain is a great suggestion, O Reaper. Great suggestion. That's amazing, obviously. Let's have a look at these. There we go. Leonidas. Yes. Really into that. Now, by the way, some of you might be like quite concerned, as you can see around his breastplate and also the shoulder piece here. You'd be like, wow, Rob, that's very detailed. That won't print out. Absolutely will not agree with that sentence. I wish I just had something to hand to show you. But it absolutely will print out in that level of detail if you have the right printer and if you've got your settings right. So, like, very, very detailed. And you definitely can get that out there. Oh, Heracles! Yes! He's pretty baller, isn't he? He's got the pose of the limited edition Stormcast on the Orc head. You 100% could do him as, like, some baller Stormcast hero. That would work really nicely. Okay, here we go. Right, a Medusa. So if you wanted a funky Medusa for your Daughters of Cain army, you can mix it up with a bow. It's quite cool. A cheeky Pegasus. Who doesn't like a Pegasus? Skip that. This guy. Woohoo! Beast, a Minotaur. A Minotaur. I wonder if anyone's trying to do Beast of Chaos, but the other way. So they're like holy beasts of chaos or something. I don't think anyone's necessarily... which printer is the right printer? So Guy's ID, there's really two options. I'm going to do a show on that on Thursday. Thursday I'll do a show on printers and what printers I've got, and Chris is coming on the show. He's got different printers, so between us you'll have like some real world experience, and we'll do that show on Thursday. Today we're just looking at the files. Oh, Typhon. Yeah, man. Okay, he's awesome. Not sure. See, what I like about this, and only having been into this for like several months, I know. Rob, shut up about 3D printing. But like, what's fun about it is for me now, these kind of like monthly shows are as exciting as a big Games Workshop reveal where they're like, here's 11 models, or like the new Gravelords models. I think are stunning. I think are absolutely stunning. But I think it's hard to argue that these aren't as stunning. I think these ones are a little bit more simple, but I think that's what they're going for this month. Last month they had a very weird vampire vibe. A centaur boy. Hello. Gosh. Wow. How big is that Zeus? That's insane. That's great. And then I think you get that terrain at the same time to print out if you wanted to do a Colosseum-esque, which is pretty phenomenal. So they do have some troops. Okay, nice. So if you did want to build an actual army out of them, they do have some troop options. So if you wanted to build like a Spartan-esque themed Stormcast force, or even thinking about Jake LeCure, who's an American Warhammer player from Detroit, he had, when I was over at NashCon, he had a Daughters of Cain army made completely out. They were a boy Daughters of Cain army, so they were all made out of Spartans. And they had that whole Spartan vibe, which I thought you could do something really similar with that. Thanks, Battle Jode, for resubscribing. Could be cool themed armies, Cities of Sigmar. That works really well as well. I mean, it would be nice. Maybe you can mix these really nicely. Cities of Sigmar mixed with Stormkeep, so Stormcast. So maybe a Stormkeep army, where you bring some humans into it as well. Eric's got a Spartan Seraphon army back when Eternal Star Host thing. That's cool. So yeah, you got the Spartan troops, Centaur troops. Nice. You could use those as cavalry. Minotaur troops. Excuse me, Colonel Cabbage. Do you want to 3D print yourself an entire Beasts of Chaos army that looks like good guys, but is still just as bad? Oh, hello. Amazonian. Wow, this is a big release. Holy shit. Okay, so then you've got some Amazonian archer ladies as well. I love the dual swords across her back. That's great. Don't forget, I think these are digitally painted on, which I think is kind of clever on their part to show that sometimes. I think maybe it also can kind of make them look a tad plain. Oh, Amazonian cavalry as well. All right. Rue Riders? Are we talking about Rue Riders? Wardens? Sentinels? You know what I'm saying? Or Hedonites also works as well. That's a great shout. And then a Pegasus lady. Oh, fuck, that's nice. Yeah, I like the whole vibe with the heroes. Like, that's a very, like, adulent vibe, right? That's got some. It's got some nice. Wouldn't pay money for any of these, says Midvale. Interesting. Okay. Would be great. Okay, that's all right. You don't have to pay. What's nice is you don't have to pay any money from Midvale. And also, what's really nice about reviewing this stuff from other companies is this is Bite the Bullet, by the way. What's nice about reviewing these is we don't have to do that thing where you always have to be like, oh, but obviously the model's beautiful. We get to kind of like disenfranchise ourselves from that toxic, I think, Games Workshop community vibe where you have to just be like, every model's beautiful. You can't dislike a model or for some reason you're some sort of monster. And so yeah, if you don't like them, then that's super okay. Right, okay, this is Bite the Bullet, yeah? And yeah, this is what's nice. They've got some awesome models from Bite the Bullet. Really like these. I think they're super dope. And they've got loads of characters. So obviously a turtle snapper, but he's a pirate. He's straight on the printer as soon as this goes live. Oh my god, a pirate tortoise. Yes, there's a cool movement on 3D printing tiny Warhammer models. There is, Koenig. I've seen that. I think we can push back on that game without buying a 3D printer. Modeling my child, I agree. I just think this show, I hope, and also this conversation generally allows you to have that good conversation. That's what I'm hoping. So is everyone into this? I think Elves is into this. Right, yeah, really like this. This range is really good. You're going to like this. You're going to like this. Next up. Yeah. Fuck. Yes. Yes. Big turtle snapper. Covered in armor. He's got a seashell back. He's got a seashell. Dusty Telephone, hello. Thanks for being here. We raided you today. That's nice. Turtle meta. Scott B, there's no way you don't like this turtle army. Look at that guy. Amazing. Great D&D sculpt, yes. Could be a Minotaur or an Ogre. Any of the big boys. Could even be like a Rockgut Troggoth, if you wanted to. Or, I think a Rockgut works quite nicely. Proxy calls. Turtle Berserker, that makes sense. Yeah. These would be fantastic proxy for Trogs. Yes, that's a good idea. Owen says, I do feel the direction of travel is having at least one non-Games Workshop army. If you know someone 3D print or have one yourself, it's a no-brainer. It is. Also because it's fucking cool. That's the point. Like, we're all like, holy shit, that's cool. We want it. We want to paint it. It will look wicked. And it's got like a really, like, you could tell your own story with it. And I think the purism conversation of, yeah, really into this guy. The purism conversation of rule of cool is, these are cool. Anyway, can I just say that I'm particularly proud of Bite the Bullet for the little love heart, different snapping turtles in the bottom right-hand corner. How big is this boy, says Cart of Blore? So most of them are 32mm models, so like probably that'll print out the size of an ogre. What's nice is, obviously, if you wanted to, you can upscale these. You can also downscale them as well, because it's a 3D printer. So you can make them bigger, or you can make them smaller. You can also flip them so they are, so in this example, their hand is the other way, and the stick is the other way. That's the amazing thing about it. These from a Patreon in your back, Rob. Yes, Hawkeye. They are. Love seeing the Raider join the community. Yeah, it's really nice. A big shout out to Forks Art here as well. What's going on, fam? Love seeing the Raider. Man, I need yeah. Anyway, so really beautiful. Love this. Really great. This guy's super cool. No idea what you'd use him as, but 11 out of 10. This is the guy. This is by the way from Bite the Bullet's March release, but I haven't actually shown it off yet, so I was like, let's do it. Look at this fucking guy. All of it. I think models like these are a great way to just have fun painting them. Agreed. This has got some strong Kung Fu Panda vibes. It is very Kung Fu Panda. Very Kung Fu Panda. Now, I was speaking to Vince, and I don't want to speak for him the other day. He was talking about negative space. He said one of the things he doesn't overly like about 3D miniatures, and again, his opinion, and also I might be misquoting him, but is that it's very busy, and it is. It's got loads of detail on it. He's got a little potion pot. He's got some other stuff on the other side of his belt. He's got some birds on top of his shell. His squirrel is also on his arm. It's very busy. But for me, as a painter, it's great because I'm not very good at negative spaces. I can't do much with a negative space. I want there to be loads of little bits for me to paint because am I making sense? The little bird nest. Yeah, the little bird nest. You've got it, Dusty Telephone. The little bird nest. I'm all about this guy. This guy fucks so much. It's so good. Is that? Oh no. Hold on. Sorry. Right. So here we go. Another guy. So this is more of a paladin vibe. So a paladin turtle. This would definitely be good for D&D if you wanted to. Also, another good thing about them is now I don't play D&D at all. Yeah, but I'd be more likely to play in D&D if it had miniatures. Yeah, I know that makes me a monster. Yeah, I know I don't play it, so I really shouldn't have a conversation about it. All good points. Well made, Twitch chat. Thanks for doing so. However, I think having miniatures would make me more invested. That's a me thing, which is why I like Warhammer, why I play Warhammer. Big shout out W. Soren. Stormcast Tortoise. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, snapping turtle. So this guy's great. I love the little shell on his hammer. Big on that vibe. Let's go. This guy. I think, this is the same guy from another angle. So there's our Berserker snapping turtle again, just from a different angle. It might just be that as well. There he is from another angle, giving you look at those big meaty legs. Oh boy. Oh boy. And there's our priest / monk from another vibe. He looks great. Again, he looks great. That's really good. Yeah. This guy. Oh my god. Yeah. Right, so that's Bite the Bullet. Great job there. Really proud of Bite the Bullet. Right, Stl Miniatures. So Stl Miniatures have got a really, really good kind of process to them, which I really enjoy, where they are mainly doing merchants. So you guys may have seen last month we showed them doing an alchemist vibe, and this month I think I can't remember exactly what it is, but they do merchants. They do guild men. So so far for the past few months they've done blacksmith, which I've printed out and is amazing. Detail is insane. A blacksmith, a baker who's making it onto one of my boards. So he's on Ollie Town. There's a little baker with his own oven and his little cart full of bread, just amazing. There's a potions vendor, which is also super fun as well, and really fun to print and stick into a diorama, I would say, or into terrain, depending on what you want. So really like Stl Miniatures, but I could definitely see how they work for D&D and not really for the Warhammer proxy, but you still could for some bits. So here's some merchants. Ziggy, can you hear me? Oh, I can't believe Ziggy's in the chat. If we could all get a Scott Bakula Ziggy song in the chat, please. Yeah, again, another merchant lady with a very cross face. Yeah, really nice. Really, really good. And then. Right. You tell me you don't want to print this guy out and paint him? Oh my god. Super funky. He's got quite a weathered face. Maybe if you had some absolute baller vampire hero, you could print him on the base, bringing him a cup of blood or something, if you wanted to mix it up. Yeah, so anyway, big love on that. That looks really nice. Wow. Cute little mage. Oh, I think she's a maid, actually, with a little leaf duster. Really into that. Put it in the middle of a Silver Earth Wildwood, just clean it up. I get that you guys might be whatever, but this is just fun, man. This is just fun. I know it's a bit dollhousey, but it would just be cool. Like, that works really well for, like, you could have, like, a vampire, like, put that into kind of like a, like middle of a town, like a ruined building, print that in. So yeah, I'm vibing on that. I'm vibing on that. Oh, wow. Okay, yes. Big chair, big throne. If you wanted to stick someone on that, that works. Chemex, you can 100% use the models in D&D. It's just that it was being part of the hobby earlier. We'll definitely watch Thursday Gang do a D&D campaign. Oh, yeah. Well, one day. I would only do it if we printed out the minis. I can't do the just yammering away thing. That's a me thing. It's not an anyone else thing. Super valid form of entertainment, therapy, and fun. All amazing stuff. Just not the Rob Gang thing. Which is probably a gang of one, if I'm honest. So this is STL. I know you guys are like, oh, fuck Rob, this is a bit. But I love what these guys do. I think they make really good shit. Like, they've got their own little system. I think it's really nice. Very cool. Like, the other stuff they've done the past few months are really good. Really love it. It's great. So, yeah. Right, on to the big dog. Yeah? Arch-Villain. Big waves. Big waves from Arch-Villain. The Skaven stuff we looked at last month, if you remember. He did an incredible demon release in January as well. Very fucking detailed. Very complicated models. Loads of detail. And they're wild. So this is a dark elf mixed with spiders theme. Right? And we're about to go down some roads, lads and ladies. Gang. Team. Crew. Because this entire thing fucks. It's so good. Yeah, Chemex. All right, bud. I promise you it'll be something to think about. Right, this thing is good. Yeah. Wait till we go on. So this thing is intense, right? You will also, so the thing that you get at the back, so the thing it's printed on, you also get as well. It's too creepy to have in my house. I think I'd hurt myself painting that spiky lady. Yeah. Right. Next go. Because this just gets wild and wild. You're going to really like this. I think this is super good. This is, yeah. Here we go. There you go. There's another, like, lady inside the spider. It makes you want Spider Fang to be good so much. It's just amazing. Like, again, really intense, really creepy, nice undead. I thought would maybe make a good, like, undead kind of like a Mortark, like a Neferata alternative, if you wanted. Like, I know she's meant to be on top of the thing, and the thing's got a story, and it's all that jive. But I just thought that would be good. Hey, sorry again. What up? Spyfing did nothing wrong to deserve better. They do deserve better. So yeah, this is really, really nice. Not my favorite though, because there's some such good stuff in this. This fucking thing is amazing. He's like a Chaos Lord on Carcadrack. There's you can see a different, as you can see, it's an elf on top. So if you wanted to use this in some sort of elven army, but the pose is insane, and it's just muchos good. Sorceress on Black Dragon is a great idea, and stick inside. That's a great idea. Instead of a Sorceress on Black Dragon, the Sorceress as a Black Spider. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Replace the rider with a Chaos Champion and this thing bangs. It bangs super hard. Look at those swole legs. Really cool. I love how he's standing on his shoulders. Yeah, it's just wicked. Really good. I was like amazed by this. And there's also another version of it now. There we go. Which is... yeah. I don't even... like, I'm just going to admire for a moment. Like, incredibly beautiful armor that you could paint, like, in all variety of ways. Yeah, really good. Big, luscious, lovely tongue, big, thick legs, big, chunky body, loads of armor, amazing spear. Like, hey, Dan Brook, big love. But yeah, Dracoline Hero. Dracoline Hero works. Dad and the doggy didn't want. Of course, that's good. Disco Lord in 40k works. That works quite nicely. Real big Malice Darkblade vibes. This is a big, like, twisted take, I think, on Dark Elves generally. Yeah. That's how Vander's Hammerhand should have looked. Yeah, really nice. Like, which I'm just going to say a lot. Like, but I need some other words. Again, another version of the same sculpt. So if you wanted to use them as like a hero, or if you wanted to use them as a unit, you've got the option to use them as a unit. So you could have them as Liege Cavalos, or if you wanted to make some big, chunky, heavy cavalry, if you wanted some like, if you were running, let's say, a Dark Elf army, but you wanted to put some Fulminators or some Evocators on Dracoline, you could do this instead. Fits in with the theme. They're in the right kind of size. You kind of get it. That works. A Manfred's a good example. Like, the ears could be... You could probably... He's got an eye patch. If you guys look closely enough, that's awesome. I love the fronds as well, because it's quite clearly like a swamp-esque monster. It works. It fits in so nicely with the Dark Elf army. Charybdis, and all of the kind of Scourge Privateer like theme, because it's got like an aquatic vibe to it, which I think is really sweet. Drakespawn Knights. I think it might be chunky for Drakespawn Knights, but you could use it, yeah. It wouldn't take much to vampire this up. No, it would not. That's a good point. Just going for it. By the way, there is a lot of sculpts from this guy to look through. Like, a lot. We're going to be here a while, and that's okay with me, because it's basically just model porn. That's what we're doing today. Varangard. Varangard is a good shout. Very good shout, Daedrin. That works really nicely. So yeah, another one of these fellas. And then, right, now we're getting some, like, oh boy. He's like, right, we're going to battle. What do you want to wear? He's like, just some sort of shoulder metal. Nothing on my chest. Zero covering my torso. I want maximum airflow around my body. So, again, use him as a Sigmar wizard. A Chaos Sorcerer would be super cool. Especially if you were buying, like, you know, like the Splintered Fang. So let's say you were taking the Warcry models, like Splintered Fang models, and you wanted the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Like, he fits in really nice with that, like, twisted dark elf kind of theme that they've got going on for the Warcry set, if you know what I'm talking about. A Deepkin Wizard also works really nicely as well. Yeah, absolutely. I guess I'm attaching darkness because of the light that he's put on it in this kind of, like, showcase, but you could absolutely make him, like, quite heroic if you just put a different light source on him. A Sinesh Sorcerer as well. Another great shout. Nothing better in Battle than being aerodynamic. Agreed. But really, really good. Wait till we get to some of the others, because they're like, oh boy, look at whatever the fuck this guy's doing. Like, insane. I imagine that bit on top just adds on. You could just stick him on, but he's kind of like summoning there. I need to try to sleep now. Keep hyped in this. Also, tell me how cool One Death Army is, and whisper it. Maybe smash bat. I like, if it makes you feel any better, if I had the money tomorrow, the army I'd pick up would be OCR Bone Reapers. That's the army I'd pick up. I think it's probably that and Lumineth are probably the two armies that are both most representative of Warhammer fantasy army that I would play. Cavalry, artillery, battle line units. They're in there. They work right. Painting the Vortex, a nice poop round. Back readiness. Stop that! Come on! Dumbledore after hitting the gym. Yeah, baby. Like, this guy's great. Like, and look at his face. Like, look at that, like, rage. It's phenomenal. Again, each one of these is like a passion painting project or something that works well in an army. I don't even know what to say about this guy. Like, a vampire? Yes. A dark elf? Yes. Flawless? Agreed. Beautiful? 11 out of 10. Like, yeah. Just super good. Super good. And really into it. Maybe a red LED. Pawning a Manchild. If this thing had a red LED, woo! Oh, sorry guys. I clicked in the wrong place. Oh, is that the same guy? I think we missed a guy. Yeah. So maybe the same-ish model, but just a different pose. So perfect. This one though, again, that you see the magic being cast out of his staff into a spider is outrageously cool. Like you could just you could just get a bunch of Spider Fang Riders and build some sort of amazing Cities of Sigmar army, or even a Chaos themed army. And you turn all of those. I think Diadron was saying earlier, you can make the big riders into Varangard, and you could just build like a spider-based Dark Elf Chaos army, and there's nothing stopping you and telling you can't. Do the Idoneth have a summon crab spell? Not yet. By the way, we're about to look. We're going to look at an amazing Idoneth proxy army in a moment. So like, keep your Idoneth like in the one. Yeah, it's a spider. Dudley Life, can you see? It's a spider coming out of the staff. So it's the magic vortex that we saw previously, but then a spider's popping out of it. It's amazing. Like, it's really cool. Spider Queen on a throne with little baby spiders all over it. It's quite cool. I don't know what I'd use it for, but it looks fun. Now, look at this. This is dark as shit. So, if you can see, she's got a head with a bowl with what looks like heads stuck inside it. And I don't know what she's doing with it. Like, it's just very dark, man. It's fucking dark. A Cathalar. That's a great shout. Yeah, like a dark, twisted Cathalar. You could, an Idoneth Deepkin army that was like a dark, twisted version of itself would look very, very cool. DOK. Oh yeah, that would be so good. Witch Hag. You could use her as a Witch Hag. That would look super awesome. Hey Lord Limpet. Really, really nice. Sippy Cup. Yeah, Hag Queen. Yeah, you guys nailed it. That's a great decision. Yeah, of course. A Dark Elf Sorceress. Look at the Spider Belt. The Spider Belt's wicked. Like, that's so cool. Big set of like a big harness. That's great. And the staff is just so good. This could be a Slaughter Queen. Pete, yes! What's going on? Pete, you need to go back and watch, if you haven't watched from the beginning, about the turtle snapping monsters, because they're just so good. Again, another... Oh, flip. Sorry, guys. Let me just go through. Load one we haven't loaded. Again, I don't even know what the fuck to do with this. This would take you like 3.5 years to paint. But again, Hag Queen, a Slaughter Queen, a Dark Sorceress, like for Cities of Sigmar, a fucking Chaos Sorcerer Lord, Chaos Sorceress Lord. Put that in your army, that would look creepy as shit. Using the big spider lady and one of the other smaller female characters for both versions of Marathi Sheltar. Great call. Great call. Let's see what's next. Another like smaller spider lady into like built in, which looks super sweet and cool. New Spider Fang army. No one needs that. Let's go. Another like spider lady with some big claws again. You could use that as Chaos Knight, as if you're going for like that Chaos theme. You could use it as Varangard, which would be super fun and weird. Mini Soul Grinder. A Soul Grinder is a great shout. It doesn't have to be mini though, because you can just increase the size, so it can just be a huge Soul Grinder. Vampire Lady, that works really well as well. Another kind of spider one. If I'm spending you guys let me know if I'm spending too long on each model. Because this is only the second time we've done this. I love doing this, by the way. Like not my favorite show of the month, but like just a nice refresh where we're just all like enthusiastic together. I guess it's like one of the reveal shows, but I like it anyway. So, but let me know if I'm spending too long or anything I can do to make it better, basically. Okay, right, we're on to some foot troops now. Again, some kick-ass Darth Maul Dark Elves covered in armor. They look mint. Really happy about that. Like, they look lush. Really nice. Really like. There's now Archvillain. Oh, flip. Sorry, guys. Archvillain doesn't really make it so you can really print out an army. It's more like centerpiece models. Sometimes there's the ability to like print out an army, but there's like limited amount of these. Like this is printed as a whole piece, not so that you can swap the arms and bodies around. which is super okay. Like that's just the way they've gone for it. But you will end up with just a lot of the same model and over again if you try to do like 30 models or whatever. But these look great. I want Nathan to describe all of these. Yeah. Really into that one. I like these Dark Elves with the glaives. I think they look incredible. So yeah, I love the poses. They put them in really cool. I agree. Just a telephone. Is there a cooler pose than this pose? That's my question. This is like, let's go. I want to, before I start a Warhammer game, this is the pose I might pull in the future. This is my let's go pose. I think these have a tendency to be a little overdesigned and busy for non-character models. Born Again Manchild, I agree. Although, obviously, that seems to be Games Workshop's philosophy a little bit at the moment as well. I mean, Rock Guts are incredibly, they've got a lot of, bits on them. And I would also argue that, the Sinesh stuff has got, a lot of stuff on them as well, I think. Would that be fair to say? I don't think these are any more complicated than a Sinesh model. But I hear your point, and I'm about it. Just move on, one arm, and it's the best dab model you can get. Right. Let's see what's next. Again, kick-ass pose, kick-ass different blades, different weapon options. Now there's a sword variant. They're very cool characters if you wanted to do them for D&D or something. They look great. And then I think we're back to the beginning with that big... Yeah, we're back to the beginning. So that's Archvillains. Really good, really impressive. Some amazing range of stuff. Right, onto Terrain. There are still some other miniatures, but onto Terrain. Oh, Hams fan, thanks for donating 5 gift subscriptions to the show. What a lovely, lovely, lovely person. Thank you, appreciated. Let's go. Was it because of the superhero pose? Is that why? Because that's amazing of you. Thank you. And don't forget, you've all got your emotes in the chat. There are some new emotes coming sometime soon. We are going to be hitting up we're going to get Sin and Bin emotes very soon, so do tune in for that. Thanks, Hams fan. Right, Terrain. It's incredibly nice of you. K-Dread, no problem. So I have now, not only have I purchased this set, because this is from January, I also, and Hawkeye is also a patron of these as well and put me onto them, so shout out to Hawkeye. I've also printed out the majority of this stuff already, and it's phenomenal. It's super, super, super good. Absolutely outrageous quality. It's really well designed. It prints really nice. I've had zero problems with any of the files. Really, really good. And I printed these on the FDM printers. So everything else that you print is on a resin printer, so it's smaller in regulation. This is big. And the 3-story tower there that you can see in the center, kind of center right, is huge. It's 9-10 inches tall when you print it out. Massive. Really massive. This is the Tyranid Terrain. And you guys have seen me, if you've been watching the show, you'll have seen me holding up the Tyranid Terrain. And it's so good for 40k Terrain. It's really, really good. And they've got, hey Neil Kerr, big love to you. Neil will be on the show with me later with Tom at 7:30, so do tune in for that. But they're incredible terrain. Looks really nice. You've got the 2-story or 3-story options, and then you've got some amazing other little bits. So I would say this Sacramundus guy, Sacrus, there you go, Sacrus Mundus, as you guys can see. I would say he probably makes the most. No, I don't know if that's fair. I haven't looked at everyone. It's the best 40k terrain I found so far. So it looks really good. Yeah, FDM F optimized. Yeah, so this is not a resin one. This is a plastic printer. These are the ones that you print as level. And it's just really fucking good, man. Really good terrain. I've done a whole Necron board, and I'm most of the way through a Tyranid board now. And there's a a Drakari board. There's a Craft World board. There's a Cities board, which I don't think is as good, but that's just being honest. And all this stuff prints. It's massive. It looks really good. It creates really nice terrain. And it's just very, very cool. Very, very cool. So I just thought I'd show it off. And also, like, it's been really nice. So he also does bases as well. If you're collecting Tyranids, I put all of this out. So I printed most of this board of stuff out now, and I put it all on the table. And it's so nice to see a board that isn't just ruins. Like, yeah, lots of it is 40k optimized, as Hawkeye is saying. It's really impressive. Is the Tyranid? Is this the Tyranid Terrain? Yeah. So really good. So Sacros Munda. So if you're looking for terrain for 40k, here is a good shout. He also has got some fantasy stuff as well. But the fantasy stuff is like pretty much all the fantasy stuff. It's some buildings in a village. I'd like to see him approach like the fantasy stuff the same way he's approached this, where he's like, cool, I'm going to do a town or a village, but I'm going to theme it after Dispossessed, or theme it after Lumineth, or something like that, right? But yeah, Pete is really good. Sacros Munda. And if anyone needs any of these like links or anything, I'm going to make sure I include them all in the YouTube videos. Links and the podcast. If you're listening to this as a podcast, you must be like, this must fucking suck. I don't even think I'll make it as a podcast. But yeah, like, I'll include them all as well. But if anyone needs any links or wants to ask me a question, please do feel free. So yeah, really, really good terrain. Right, next up, a new one. Daybreak Miniatures. I haven't looked at these guys before until last night, actually, prepping for the show. And I quite like their stuff. I think it's, I think Borneo Mancha was saying some of this stuff is over-designed. And I think definitely fucking tons of design work got onto this. But I kind of like that, if I'm 100% honest. This is just a kick-ass hero. Looks cool. You could do, I was thinking you could do a Chaos or a Slaves to Darkness army, but you could flip it where it was all good guys. Use the same rules, but it was all good guys, if that makes sense. Freaks and Deets for the lady. He has got a sword on the other arm. I don't know if there's another picture of this. But no, there's not a picture of this. There's an alternate picture of this. But yeah, I love this. I think it's super cool. He's super heavy armored, really over the top, overdone in so many ways. He's got big lion heads all over it. I think that's wicked. You can make an amazing City Sigmar unit. Again, love this. Love this all day. Big, powerful lady. Got a big shield, big hammer. Like, just really into that again. Another great City Sigmar sculpt if you wanted. If you wanted to go, like, fuck it up and make it like a Chaos version. Stormcast proxy in loads of ways. Looks really nice. Really cool. Very, very cool. Big into that. Look at this fucking guy. This is it. This is like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say, like, I think what's interesting about the 3D designers is that they are either Games Workshop inspired or they're, well, I don't even know if that's true. They like Games Workshop inspired a bit. Warcraft design inspired a lot, is what I generally tend to find. There's also like Dark Souls, kind of like, I think that Archvillain one is like very Dark Soulsy. Like, so they all have got like obviously inspirations or kind of like themes to them, and I think that that's the really nice thing as well, because you get this different experience. Like, we got on through all these, like that. Like, I mean, the Raging Heroes with the Greek stuff was so different and alien almost to some of the stuff that we've seen previously. That anyway, yeah, I like this one a lot. Yeah, he's a beast. This is good. Def looks like a Palantir armor mixed with Souls game. Yeah. Big love to this model. I think this is brilliant. It'd take you like 8 years to paint. If you were trying to do anything good on this, it would take you forever. But it looks phenomenal. Like, so good. Like, fuck, painted that. But it looks brilliant, and you'd have the best time. So this is Daybreak Miniatures who are doing these. Again, by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of these, and in fact, actually give them money. So I'm on their Patreon. So, like, I want you guys to know that, like, there's no quid pro quo from these guys. It's just me talking to you guys about stuff I think is awesome. So, yeah. Edge highlight until the death of the universe. Exactly. The shields are so good. Hold on. The shields are amazing, right? So big into those. And then, yeah, just looks great. may only be painted as NMN. Look at this king. If you want a free guild general on a horse, this king is the one. That's what I say. Now we're into like, look at this big ball of mace, same big shield. He's got a hood and cowl now, so he's got a little more of those vibes. Again, Stormcast model would look sweet. Jumping off a rock. Jesus Christ, it's like a Games Workshop preview now. Yeah, big into this. This is fun. Love the Warcraft aesthetic. Yeah, me too. I think the Warcraft aesthetic is really cool. Yeah, again, another character on foot. Looks great. We haven't got to any troops yet. Now then, folks. Now then. Look at this motherfucker ready to smash face. Oh my god. Yeah. And, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Let's go. Like, yeah, not a Warcraft orc. Exclamation marks. So yeah, folks, loads of love. Hope you're well. Yeah, Iron Gutsman. Fuck yeah, let's go. Iron Gutsman, well done for smashing face yesterday. But this is the one, right? Yeah, hey, yeah, Hellscream. Here we go, boys. Here we go, boys. This is good, right? Really into this. Again. Let's go. Maybe good for an Iron Gut. You could absolutely do it as an Iron Gut. The problem is well, you would get at least 2 sculpts out of this. You'd get a sculpt where you could do it one way, and then you could have him sculpted so he does a mirror. I think maybe that's, again, talking about it for building armies, like Titanforge, Artisan Guild, Heroes Infinite, they all kind of like, they all do a good job of building a range that you can print out as an army, and then some of this other stuff is stuff that's like really good, like a single pieces, I would say. This guy's great. So good. Really into that. Yeah. 11 out of 10. Yeah. Like, great. A great Warden King, if you wanted to put one in your army. Glengis Khan, thank you for subscribing. For the first time. Whoa! Thanks very much. That's appreciated. Games Workshop, see how this dwarf has clothes. Like, Games Workshop, could you start dressing our miniatures generally, please? Like, as a whole conversation, can we get more dressed characters? Like, the clothiers in the Mortal Realms are just not working hard enough, I'd say. So, yeah. But, yeah, amazing Dwarven sculpt. So, I just subbed to these guys last night because I was like, this range is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like, sweet Berserker model. I'm thinking of printing them as prizes for tournaments that we hold here. So, like, I just thought this would be really good, like a best in faction for Order or something like that. I thought it'd be sweet. Look at this guy. I don't know what to tell you. He's a little cute little goblin on a pig who's got like a mechanical jaw mouth. Are we into this? I'm into this. That one is decidedly. Oh, this one, the last one. Do you think was average? Oh god. Sorry, guys. The Silver Lion! Yeah, I think that's it. Is that it? Oh, no. This is great. This is really... Oh, the Goblin. Oh, the cheeky Gobbo. Yeah, I would probably say so. I think that... Oh, fuck hell. Sorry, guys. I think... could be the light that's put on it. It gives it like a very different kind of like look. I do find that like the way they display the miniatures sometimes, like they've cast a shadow on it, but you're probably right. Whereas this one I think is great. A little grunter. Imagine Hot Sauce Steady doing a whole Uruk army, but just little grunters, but on the same size basis. That would work for me. This guy's great. Like I like the like brutal simplicity of his weapon. I think that's really nice and a good vibe. I say vibe a lot now. This is something I noticed recently in the past like 6 months, and I'm so sorry, but I also don't care. So that's the range. So just for that month, that's the kind of like collection of stuff. So again, really nice centerpiece models, but not really something that you could put together. And obviously, they 100% have played World of Warcraft like a lot. All right, well I won't say that anymore about readiness. And then lastly, okay. Now, this isn't the best till last. because I think they're all good in their own way. But this is Print Your Monsters. This is an Idoneth Deepkin army that is cool as shit, in my opinion. Zip Zap Wrap. I'd love a database where I could input AOS for 40k model and it would spit out a list of proxy sources. Zip Zap Wrap, that's a great idea. I'm not getting into that. There's already too many database conversations. Me and Ziggy. I ain't got. It sounds like a great idea, though. One of you guys go smash that out. Right, get ready. So, bit of terrain. Oh, yeah! I don't know if anyone has seen the new Suicide Squad trailer. If anyone has seen the trailer for the new one. But, oh, yeah. Big shark boys. Let's go. So, we've got a bit of an aquatic shark boy there. Could be a thrall. Could be a thrall. But this isn't the end of this range. Bye. Let's go. Like, a shark, which could easily be, I thought of that immediately. Right? So, again, funky. Would a shark really fight with a weapon made from shark teeth, though? No idea. Sexy fish lady, yes. So, like, this kind of aquatic themed lady. But she's got so much detail on her. Her, chest piece is made out of clamshells, which is really funky. Yeah, very big vibes, I'd say. This is great. Great. Completely over the top. Like, you'd use this as an eel rider, not an actual shark, so you wouldn't use it as an Alapex, you'd use it as an eel rider. Mr. Shape of Water. I just love his scales. This guy's great then. Right? This is for sickos, apparently. Does no one else like this? I think this is great. This is such a good twisted theme. Alright, apparently I'm the only one. There's on the base that it comes with, which I think is beautiful. Beautiful. We're not finished yet though. Right? Look at this. Yeah, a dark, twisted elf, not elf, like underwater sea lady. She could be, you could scale her up so she's an Eidolon, so you can make her massive so she's an Eidolon of the sea or the storm. You could make them smaller, make them into thralls. Melusi is another good example. What needs the villain's instinct? More Melusi, but male Melusi, but more fish-based. So if you wanted to do if you had your Idoneth Deepkin army and you wanted to make your Daughters of Cain army as well, but you wanted to kind of like mix it up and then add some fish people to it, really good. This guy's great. So again, like loads of little adornments and stuff. So looks really fun. Right, I don't even know what to say about this. Just some giant fucking sea monster is all I'm going to say. And looks amazing. Loads of eyes, loads of barnacles. Yeah, really good. Really fun. Oh, that's it. That's the range. Oh, there we go. That's everything. Oh, there's a little crab man at the back we didn't see. That's a shame. So again, not a massive range. Left shark here. Or right shark there. Not a huge range. But there is some variants as well, which is nice. So it shows up here. So you've got the Sea Elf Sanctum Defender rider, whichever one that is, with a rider variant. So you do end up with some different riders. So it looks like there's maybe more sculpts than we've seen inside this particular preview. No. But, anyway. So, that's it. That's it for today. There are other patrons, by the way, who have other sculpts. Some of them haven't actually put out their April release stuff yet, so I haven't been able to show them off. But super fun. What do you guys think of the show? Was it a good idea? Should we keep this up every month? I think it's a good idea. I think it's really enjoyable and really fun. But yeah, amazing different stuff. If anyone's been watching the whole time, do you have a favourite? I think mine has got to be the Turtle Snappers. I think they're brill. Thanks, MJ Pegasus. Cart Bluffer. Okay, really good selection, yeah. Thanks, Haken. I'll try hard and I'll try and make it so that I choose the right stuff as well. Jim can keep going. Good show, make it regular. Also, I'll do it once a month. I'll do it once a month because really there's no real updates after a month. So we'll just do them once a month, and I think it's a fun way of doing it. I like it apart from the fact it makes me want to spend money I don't have on a high printer. So that makes sense. That makes sense. I think more than likely the sensible thing to do, if any of you out there are like, Rob, I really want to get into 3D printing. Obviously, we've got the TSN Arena, so we bought some printers thanks to you guys over Christmas. And now obviously you're able to do these shows. I think one of the good conversations to have is that if you have a local club, that maybe this is something that gets installed in your local club and you kind of all chip in together. And you kind of do a co-op, and you know, like throw in a certain amount of money, and you get print time and screen time. Like you could all co-op together and get like you could all kind of like get a Patreon account together and like chip in on a particular, like you pool your money sort of thing if you're in a local club, and like subscribe to these Patreons and all those other things as a little community and a group, which I think is really fun as well. You can subscribe at different tiers as well, so I'm not subscribed to any of the merchant tiers, but you can subscribe to a merchant tier, which is the tier above, so that you can also print these off and sell them, which is also like another thing as well, which I know some people do on Etsy. So if you want to go on to Etsy, and there are some people around the world who do them. But locally, it makes a ton of sense, I think, for little clubs to get together and do this. Yeah, I mean, agreed. Thanks. Okay, I think it's great to look at what else is available. It's easy to get games with a ton of vision. I would say, yeah. I don't look at any of this stuff and not think about using it in Age of Sigmar and 40k, though. Like that is probably the weird takeaway for me. And I would love to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. I think one of the interesting parts is I'm really looking for other models to creatively put into, like, if you love an army, let's say ogres, if you love ogres, there are all the ogre sculpts available, which are quite old, like from Games Workshop, and they're still great, but like, if there are 2 companies who make other ogre sculpts, that's exciting, because you love ogres, you just want more of those guys. I think this stuff is, like, really positive, because all it does is it reinforces the rule of cool and the thing that you love about the game, which is this exciting narrative and this physical manifestation of this stuff. And so I'm really pro it. What's the chance N.A. Brooks? Probably it's something I'd like to look at, N.A. Brooks. I would have to it'd have to be a subsidiary business that I hire someone to do, which I think is one of the conversations that we're having at the moment. But it could be something that's done, but you can only sell stuff if you do become a merchant. And so you would have to kind of create a whole business around that, like get enough printers and all that other jazz. But I think it's something that's very viable for people to do, and would be a really fun project for people as well. I guess one of the conversations also very quickly to have with you guys is having seen the quality of the sculpts, in my opinion, and they print out just as nice as they see on the screen, so I just want you to be clear on that. How would you guys feel about playing against any of these armies? Like, that's my takeaway question for you guys, and conversations I'd like to come back to next month, is how would you feel about playing against these guys? Because I think one of the things we're obviously intending to do here at the TSN Arena is obviously we're going to have like Super Series matches and tournaments and everything else, and you're probably going to see people either because we've provided them or because they've turned up with 3D printed armies. And I think, like, as long as you're not stealing IP, like printing someone else's actual work, you're printing these guys' stuff. Like, I think that would be better. I think you would end up with like a more diverse kind of like looking thing, and I think that would be great. I'd love to play against an army with models like this, says Carfblock. Okay, as long as the overall look is the army's unified, then great. Gimme, good point. If the scale is decently close, I wouldn't mind. Good, yeah. All right, nice. Okay, sweet. Yeah. How is the resin strength-wise? K-Dread, actually, really interesting point about the resin. Obviously, I built a lot of Forge World resin stuff. So a good conversation about the Forge World resin stuff is it can sometimes be a bit brittle or like likely to shatter if you drop it, I would say. I haven't really experienced that with these guys. Also, in the resin, when you print it, there is also something, shout out to Randy, who put me onto this. You can actually put in like this kind of like elastic resin as well. Like you have to get your mixture about right. But when you do so, you end up with, like, on the stuff like a spear or, like, something that's a bit thin, it ends up being, like, a tiny bit bendy. The more you put in, the more bendy it is. But all I mean is if you, like, knock it, what will end up happening is it won't snap. I don't tend to find the stuff snaps at all anyway. Like, I printed out quite a few fragile models, and they seem fine. Like, I would say on par with Forge World stuff. And if you've ever worked with any Forge World models, then about the same. But there are ways that you can make them slightly better than the Forge World models, which is good. I wouldn't be upset playing against any model as long as people identify what models are before the start of the match. I think it's great. Hexneck, I mean, a mini's a mini. Who cares how it looked like if the one you want to play, let's play. Great point. As long as the models match the rules close enough, then I think it'd be okay. A good point. There's so many armies in OS, it's not like I have it in mind as to what model is what for a lot of them anyway. So as long as we have the chat pre-game about it, that's what I go for it. That's good. What's your recommended ill-fill percentage of PLA printed terrain? Still, I just do 10%. I know some people will say 5% giant drop bot, but I do 10% because I really want it to be like stable. I know that like you'll save a bit of money, but I think you don't save enough, that 5% difference. So that's me. This is a 3D printed art. So Diadrin's army, you guys should check this out. You guys should check out all of Diadrin's stuff because it's super fun. So he's got a 3D printed army, but he's also got a 3D printed. So somewhere he's also been doing some 3D printed KO as well on top, which is really nice. So the link is in the chat if you guys want to check it out. It does look dope. All right, sweet. All right, well, thanks very much for hanging out today. There is a show at 7:30, and there might be a show later. I just need to do some organising now post-show. But there's definitely a show at 7:30 talking about 40k, which will be really fun. So thanks for tuning in. If you are watching on YouTube and watching back, then, leave some comments or whatnot. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us Wargamer Patreon and supporting the show. And thank you for just joining us in the chat. You guys are great. I hope you all have a nice Sunday and a lovely day. And I also just hope everything's fun. And I'll see you guys soon. Later today, definitely tomorrow, me and Owen on the 40k stat show, the Age of Sigmar stat show. And then Monday night, we're going to do Lumineth Realm Lords. We're all going to see what Nathan thinks the points are for the Lumineth Realm Lords. And it's going to be fun. Look after yourselves and have a nice day. Wait! Damn it! We need to do a raid! Oh my god, I'm so dumb. One day, I won't be this stupid. But today is not that day. One day we will remember. You just need to just shout at me before I go off air. Right, let's go raid someone, shall we? Wow, loads of people watching Warhammer today. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I look so pale. Right. Someone is... What are they painting? Oh, so many people like... because it's a weekend. I was like, so many people live today. Melly's Minis? Should we go ride Melly's Minis and make her super happy? Should we do that? Or... Nosferat. Doing this guy. Let's do this guy. Because he is painting a Death Guard dude. And I'm into that. Post-credit scene. Right, okay, let's go raid him, make him happy. You guys are the best. Thanks for tuning in. Love you tons.